What is Disney thinking with Andor? It's such a weird project to exist. It's going to be 3 seasons. This is 12 episodes in the first season. It's like the biggest thing they've done to date. And it kind of doesn't make sense. Everybody's kind of like, what is this? I will tell you the mentality that Disney's going through in a second. It's a really interesting thing that's going on. And I think that you're going to be interested too to see the direction that Disney's going and therefore the culture's going just based on the choices here. So we'll talk about that in a second. My name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. I've made science fiction for 5+ years. I don't know why these Disney writers never hire like good science fiction writers to do things. They hire people who have never watched Star Wars, never been fans of science fiction, and they always do this. And they're like, I've never watched this before, but I'm so excited for this. And it always invariably ends up a train wreck as somebody who doesn't know how to write the genre completes these projects. It's a bizarre thing that these corporations do, but they never go outside to independent comic creators like myself because I don't know. It's politics, but it is what it is. Eventually, the tide's going to turn, though. Overmind is a wonderful, wonderful book. We just got the proof copy this weekend. They're going to start going out this week to backers. Absolutely stunningly beautiful stuff. This is old school science fiction right here. You see a little bit of it on the page. And I'm excited to deliver this to you. If you love old Star Wars, if you love just action adventure, Flash Gordon is really what we're going for. You're going to absolutely enjoy this. So go to the description below and grab the link. Back over mine today. Don't miss it. I promise you, you're going to absolutely love this if you're a science fiction fan. So thank you guys for the big support so far. All right, Andor's a weird deal. And if you look at this Bounding into Comics review from Slade Hale, it's a train wreck. It's just like, it's just something... He's just like, there's nothing to care about. He says straight here, it's plain awful. Worse, Lucasfilm's attempt to shake up the Star Wars formula and turn it into something more gritty and adult ends up robbing it of whatever semblance of magic was left in the franchise. And that's kind of the thing that you had in the original trilogies. They weren't aimed at adults. They weren't trying to be as gritty as possible. It was just fun, and it was just outward looking. It was adventure looking. Luke Skywalker was just excited to be alive. He wanted to get out there, right? And now it's this Andor guy. He wants to get out of there, right? It's a very different attitude and move. And so it really doesn't work very well. And you look at this, you're like, I mean, when I saw this originally, I'm not like, huge into the Disney Star Wars stuff. So I was like, who is this guy? I don't remember him. And when I saw Andor as a title, I actually thought they meant a planet, not a person, because it sounds like a planet, Andor, right? And so I didn't realize that it was about this guy. And I didn't even really remember his character very much from Rogue One. He was such an unmemorable character. I was talking to my friends about it, and he's like, he was the love interest. And I'm like, well, what else about him? Oh, that's it. He was the love interest. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's what they're doing here. So I guess they were trying to develop this guy into a character. But this is interesting. It's actually a play it safe mode, even though it's got like not much to it, and people are obviously not that interested in this. If you look, I mean, Disney's really not doing too much with this. They're sticking it in a corner of a galaxy with some weird stuff. These guys look like they're like half Imperial soldiers, half Naboo, with their sort of outfits here. It looks really stupid. And it's just kind of bland and boring all the way through, and you don't really understand what's going on from a plot perspective, from a character perspective. And there's a reason for that. I really think that what's happened here is Disney's lost a lot of money. I mean, their valuation's gone down $100 billion since their woke stuff, since they started to be like, yeah, we're pro grooming. Let's groom them into LGBT lifestyles. Since they went for that, since it was really a bad move, and they just tanked the company. So I think the board comes in and goes, guys, you can't screw up Star Wars anymore, Kathleen Kennedy. Don't do any weird diversity plays. None of this like baiting fans with this whole like, you're the racist if you don't like this. Let's just leave this alone. Make this just like a generic as possible. Don't rock the boat. And so I think they went in there with that mentality. And because they went in there with that mentality, like these guys aren't, like I said, they're not science fiction writers. They're not thinking of cool, interesting science fiction plots. They're trying to keep it as flat as possible so they don't lose their jobs. And that's what's going on here. So that's the mentality that Disney has with this series. Now, if you're playing it that safe, if you're playing it that boring, you're going to have the same sort of result as if you were going full SJW with it. It's just going to be something that people are not really interested in. So there is a difference. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, it's not either or. It's not that you have to go woke or you have to go this. You can go a third way, which is, again, just creativity, doing something different. But they can't do that. They're not hiring the right people for that. They're trying to maintain their jobs in this. And so you'll end up with this Andor thing, which is completely flat all the way around. So as the reviewer says, any attempts to distract the show in search of positive will yield fruitless results every time. In the process, Andor runs far away from the Star Wars franchise as possible. Yeah, there's not much that really connects it to Star Wars. It just seems like a bland world here, and seemingly on purpose, just to say it did. That's where the bad kicks in, and the truly is beyond the pale. And he hasn't even gotten to the bad parts of the review yet. It's amazing. So unbelievable stuff. We'll see what happens with this show. But I really think that the whole Star Wars thing is on the ropes. They're gonna do what they're gonna do is they're gonna say there's Star Wars fatigue from having too much, and then they're gonna back off of these properties for a bit at the end of the day. But that's not what happened here. Everybody wanted something good out of Boba Fett. Everybody wanted something good out of Obi-Wan. They didn't do it, and that's what we're left with. All right, leave a comment down below what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button, and of course, don't forget to check out Overmind before it's gone, guys. You really will love this if you love science fiction. I promise you. That link's in the description below. Thanks so much.